Here we go.
There it is.
The same way I did yesterday.
So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. Welcome to the DYCD Community Action Board Strategic Partnership Committee. I am Susie Tannenbaum, and just for the record, because I keep forgetting, my last name is with one N. I know I spell it the wrong way, but and you keep spelling it the right way. So I just wanted to flag that on the agenda. Thank you so much.
I'll
No
tell
worries.
I'm sorry. I'll tell
No
Karen.
worries at all. Just figured I'd mention it when I notice it.
Yes, you can mention it anytime you want, Susie. We need to get your name correctly. So
well, you know, we all try, right? With each other. So I'm the CAB Strategic Partnership Chairperson, and it is my pleasure to introduce our first guest presenter who's going to speak about the Summer Youth Employment Program, and that is Sarah Whitney, Senior Director of Employer Engagement and Partnerships at DYCD Workforce Connect. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm shocked that it's already the 11th of January. I have to check my calendar every single day. But it's great to be with you all here again this year. We have a short presentation that we're going to share with you all about the Summer Youth Employment Program. So I'm going to have my team share their screen if they're able, and we'll kick it off. So we had a really exciting SYEP season last year, and we appreciated all of your support in helping us get the word out to not only young people across the city, but also to potential employers across the city about the opportunity to participate, in short-term jobs and internships, either as a SYEP participant or as a work site. So we are getting ready to launch the next round of applications for both young people and employers in the coming weeks. And in the coming weeks, we'll definitely share with you more details as soon as that is announced on the opening of the applications. But if, Jacqueline, you want to go on to the next slide, I'm going to introduce my colleague Dior, who is going to speak with you all a little bit about the participant perspective of SYEP, so that if you all have young people in your communities, in your networks that are going to be interested in applying to SYEP when the application opens, you'll know how to do that. And then Jacqueline on my team will speak more about the employer perspective and how we seek to involve companies and organizations across the city. So Dior, I'll first turn it over to you to talk about SYEP from the participant perspective.
Oh, this is not working right. What's wrong with my computer today?
Dior, you're muted, I believe.
Sorry about that. So yes, I am just going to go into, for participants, their eligibility. We'll start out with that. SYEP is the nation's largest youth employment program. Young people between the ages of 14 to 24 are connected to paid work experiences and career exploration opportunities. Eligibility requirements are as follows. Participants should be legally authorized to work in the U.S., live within one of the 5 boroughs, again, are between the ages of 14 to 24 by July 1st, and lastly, be willing to complete our required 10 days, 10 task orientation, as well as provider-led orientation. Some of the industries that they're going to be going into are going to be healthcare, technology, arts, and entertainment, as well as real estate. But we're going to dive a little deeper into that within the presentation. And I'll pass it over to Jacqueline.
All right, thank you so much, Dior, for kicking us off. And I'm going to go into the employer side of things. Can everyone hear me, by the way?
Yes.
We can
Cool,
hear
thank
you.
you.
And we can see the first page of the presentation.
Still only the first page? Can Give me one
Unless that's
sec.
just my internet.
Me as well.
Yeah,
There you
it
go. Now you-
changed.
It's good now? Okay.
Yeah.
Hope it's not my internet giving us issues, but do let me know if you're not seeing what I'm talking about. So why exactly hire NYC youth? So our summer youth employment program gives employers all over New York City a great chance to connect with diverse local talent, and those young people are very energetic and they're very excited to take their first steps into their professional careers. And SYEP is a great chance for them to do so. For employers, SYEP is also a great way to get some extra help during the busy summer seasons. Maybe there is a particular project that they've been putting off for some time, and they just need a little extra help to get around to those. And this offers a great opportunity for young people to get involved. It's also a great way for employers to engage with their staff members. Maybe they have someone on their staff looking to do some sort of managerial training. This also gives them a great chance to sort of dip their toes in doing some mentoring of the young people working at the work site. Working with the Summer Youth Employment Program will also connect employers to a network of community-based organizations that will assist with placing young people at your work sites. And we will talk a little bit more about them later on in the presentation. All right, I'm going to cover some of our partners from 2023. Can everyone see the partner network highlights slide?
No.
No? Okay. It's weird. I have to sort of go back and forth. Okay, I think now it should have changed.
Yes.
Cool. All
Yeah.
right, so I just have to go back and forth a bit. No worries. So what you all see here are some of our partners. We work with many different businesses of all sizes and in a variety of industries. Some of the industries we cover include financial services, technology, transportation, media and entertainment, hospitality, tourism, real estate, just to name a couple of them. So these are just some of the example work sites and employer partners who have taken on young people for 2023. And for the most part, they've had a very positive experience. But again, we work with and we invite businesses and organizations, large and small. We invite you all to participate. And likewise, if you know of someone, any employers in your own network who may be interested in doing this, we definitely welcome them to take part. All right, moving on to the next page. So some details about the program. SYEP is for NYC youth ages 14 to 24. So you may have noticed in the beginning, we said 16 to 24 for those working in the work sites. Young people ages 14 to 15 are placed in more project-based learning experiences and receive a stipend.
Yeah, he doesn't need as many mayoral appointees.
Could you please mute yourself?
Thank you. So participants are paid $16 per hour directly through the city, and young people work up to 25 hours per week for 6 weeks for a maximum total of 150 hours. So again, 6 weeks, 150 hours total for the duration of the whole, for the duration of the program. We have 2 different cohorts that employers can choose. Our first cohort starts July 1st and ends 6 weeks later on August 10th. Our second cohort begins on July 8th, the week after, and ends on August 17th. So those are the 2 choices that you can go with. And we have in-person, hybrid, virtual roles. All of these are welcome as long as there is supportive supervision from the employer side. And for And you are able to take on as many interns or as little as one intern. It really depends on what you are looking for. But we do have a limit of one supervisor for up to 12 participants. So if you are taking on like more than 12, then you're going to need an additional supervisor. Okay. Any questions so far? We do have time at the end for a Q&A, but feel free to type your questions in the chat so we can also address them later on. Okay. Next up, I want to go a little bit into some worksite experiences from 2023. Oops, sorry. So again, our worksite experiences cover there's a lot of possibilities basically. If there's a particular project you want young people to do, then this is something you can definitely explore. But young people in the program have done all sorts of roles in the course of the summer. So they could work as a banker, they could work as an engineering intern, merchandising, information guide at a museum. Basically, there's a lot that they can explore and a lot that they can do, barring a few restrictions here and there. But these are just some examples of the roles that young people and work sites can look into. And for those who might be a little new to putting together a job experience or a job description, we also have internship design kits that we'll be able to share with you after this presentation. And you can look over it and get some ideas on how to put together a job description of your own, if that is what you are interested in doing. Okay, so moving on. Next up, I want to talk about a few targeted initiatives that we do for the Summer Youth Employment Program. One of these is our Ladders for Leaders program. And Ladders for Leaders is a nationally recognized component of SYEP and usually serves as a capstone experience for the young people. So the difference for Ladders for Leaders is that Ladders participants are usually coming in with previous job experience, whether that is paid or unpaid. They have a little more direction in what kind of careers they're looking into, and they're also high achieving young people, 3.0 GPA with the minimum. And Ladders participants are 16 to 24 years old. So for Ladders, we are looking for more employer paid positions, and it's a great way for employers who are looking to maybe diversify their workforce. And if you have some sort of existing internship programs in place already, you can partner with DYCD to hire trained and job-ready students. And we'll be able to we can find you some participants who are interested in working at your organization. So for Ladders for Leaders, employers are able to review resumes from young people as well as conduct interviews with them. All of the participants in Ladders go through 30 hours of pre-employment training as well. We are also connected with a very large alumni network of over 10,000 previous participants. So if you happen to have some more full-time permanent job positions that you're looking to fill, we can also share your job postings with our alumni network. All right. Another initiative I want to touch on briefly is the SYEP Pride Initiative. This was started in the previous year, and we had our pilot launch of the program. And what SYEP Pride is it offers a space for LGBTQ identifying youth to enhance their career exploration and professional learning. So we connect LGBTQ plus identifying youth with job opportunities while also going through career exploration events with them. In 2023, we hosted, so aside from connecting thousands of young people to jobs with diverse work sites that are supporting LGBTQ plus initiatives, we also hosted career exploration events with companies such as MasterCard, Playbill, Disney, the Louis Armstrong Museum, among others. So if you are interested in being a part of this initiative, then you can also reach out to us and we'll be happy to share more details with you. Moving on, I'm going to cover the process and timeline, just a very general overview of what's to come in the next couple of months. So the worksite application for employers will open at the end of January. And during the springtime, so let's say from April to June, providers will work with employers to match young people to the different work sites. And we will talk a little bit about that in the upcoming slide. And then from July to August, the young people begin to work at their respective work sites. So while the application doesn't open for a while and the deadline isn't like until a few months afterwards, we do encourage everyone to start on their applications as soon as possible. And once the applications open up, we will be sure to let you know and share a link to apply. Right. And we sort of talked about it throughout the presentation, but I also wanted to take a few minutes to talk about what exactly is a provider. This is something that will come up during an SYP worksite application. You will be asked to select a provider. Young people completing an application for SYEP will also be asked to choose a provider. But what exactly are they? So providers serve as liaisons between the employer and the young person. They basically come from a network of community-based organizations all across the 5 boroughs. If you can see this map over here, we have a whole network of providers that help to connect young people to work sites and support employers. I'm going to let my colleague Dior talk about how providers assist on the participant side.
Yep. So the provider will review applications received and select eligible students. Selected students will be directed to upload any required documents into a secure system. The provider staff will then review these documents, review the documents submitted, and confirm who is eligible to enroll. Lastly, providers give their own pre-employment training. So in addition to the 10 days, 10 tasks, participants also have to complete the provider-led if they want to be placed. Providers place youth in work sites based off of their age, their skills, and their interests.
All right, thank you, Dior. And on the employer side of things, providers will reach out to an employer once an employer submits a worksite application. They will make sure to see that everything's okay, and they will work with the employer to ensure a quality working experience for both the young person and the supervisor in charge of the young person. Okay. And that's pretty much it for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you ever have any other questions, here is our contact information. You can reach out to either Sarah or me, and we'll definitely follow up with a copy of the deck after this presentation today. So I'm going to end things with a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, feel free to just put in the chat or just ask us directly. Thank you.
Thanks, Jacqueline and Dior. If you have questions, feel free to jump right in or drop it in the chat. And as we'll send you this deck, we'll also, as soon as the application is open for this summer, we will make sure that Susie and Anita and the teams have that to share with you all for both young people and for employers.
Wonderful. That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Sarah and Dior and Jacqueline. I am wondering whether anyone on the Zoom wants to ask a question.
Huh?
Maybe people are thinking of questions to ask. It was so informative, of course, that you may have answered a lot of the questions already.
I recognize a lot of names and faces here, so I know you all are professionals when it comes to SYEP.
I actually have, if I may, one or two questions. So early in the presentation, it was mentioned that the young people have to be legally authorized to work in the US. So I'm wondering if someone is an undocumented immigrant, are they eligible for the SYEP program?
Great question.
Hmm.
Dior, do you want to take that one or would you like me to?
I think you could take that one.
Okay, perfect. So because SYEP is a work-based program and employment program, young people do need to be eligible to work in the US in order to apply. For the past 2 years, we have been able to offer a small program for young people who do not have the ability to provide the documentation necessary for their work authorization. Folks face challenges for many reasons in providing those working papers or other identifying documents. And so for the past 2 years, we have been able to offer a Pathways program for young people who need that. And so when the application is announced, our CBOs that run the SYEP program will have information for young people in their networks and their communities who might need that.
Very good. Okay. Alex.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mhm.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm representing Senator Prasad this evening. Firstly, thank you for the presentation. Lovely presentation. I just wanted to know, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, how long has this program been running for? I'm a little upset that I wasn't a participant in this program because I've been unpaid for a year as an intern before I started working with Senator Prasad. But yeah, I just wanted
Alex,
to know how long.
you set me up so perfectly for what I'm literally writing in the chat right now. The SYEP program has been running in New York for 60 years. I know you're not going to be happy with that answer.
Oh my darn.
But I will say that it's a perfect setup because I was just putting in the chat a link to our SYEP Stories playlist that we just launched on YouTube celebrating our 60 years of impact. We celebrated the 60th anniversary this year, and so there's a really wonderful collection of stories from SYEP alumni that I would love for you all to have and share with your networks if you'd like. So thanks
Yes,
for
and
the
if
setup, Alex.
absolutely, and if I may add very briefly, you know, for anyone that's looking to partner, you know, I would as a constituent, even though I'm representing the senator, as a constituent, you know, look into this. Non-paid internships is really not very, you know, helpful for especially for the youth who are trying to get a foot in the door, and an internship is not a guaranteed job position anywhere. I was an intern for a year with United States Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. I learned so much. I got so many contacts. The biggest issue is that a lot of offices don't have space. I reached out to many offices and I got lucky landing a job with Senator Prasad, frankly. So please do whatever you can, especially for the youth. Please.
Thanks, Alex.
And Senator Prasad is a former CAB member, so we're thankful that now she is she's a member as a senator, a state senator.
Yeah, and we will always be here for you guys.
Yes, thank
That's
you.
awesome. So we have another, and I should mention that I represent Borough President Donovan Richards on the CAB, and my colleague at Borough President Reynoso's office, Donovan Swanson, wants to ask a question.
Hi, my apologies. I came in a little bit late, so this might have already been covered, and I'm currently at a mayoral control hearing in Brooklyn, so you will hear music in the background. My question was, as far as federal COVID relief funding expiring, I know that it was supplementing a lot of great programs across the city. If I'm not mistaken, some part of also SYEP was being supplemented by COVID relief funding. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just curious to see, again, what are the numbers that you're hoping to achieve for this most recent cohort for 2024? If it's going to remain the same, if it's going to continue to expand, because I know the mayor made a large commitment and I think it benefited the entire city. So that's question one. And then question two is just, I know there was a big push and initiative to get more government offices to take SYEP, Brooklyn Borough Hall. We had a couple, hopefully we're able to even expand that. But just curious to see, because I know you guys had figures you were able to share in prior years as far as that model to get more SYEP students into government offices.
Great questions. So while the application hasn't quite yet been announced, we don't expect there to be any changes in the coming year to the number of young people served through the program. We've been really fortunate to be able to expand, like you said, to serving 100,000 young people through SYEP over the past 2 years, and there's not a indication that that's going to change in the year ahead at this stage. In terms of your second question, we will be releasing our annual report in the coming days as well. And so you'll have a copy of that as soon as it's released with those figures that you're mentioning. But we did have a really great turnout and representation from government agencies this year. I don't have the number in front of me right now, but even more than in the year past, young people working at city agencies, mayoral offices, and other public sector partners across the city. And that continues into our Work, Learn, and Grow program as well, which is going on right now for high school students who are taking CUNY classes and working part-time after school in jobs and internships. And we also have a number of city agencies supporting us there. So we've been incredibly lucky to have the support of you all and our sister agencies.
Wonderful.
Very, very
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll make sure you
I-
have that report as soon as it's out.
And I would like to piggyback on Donovan's question about numbers, if I may, because I wrote down these notes. Are there numbers? Is there a breakdown of the number of youth per borough that participate in SYEP? And related to that, do you also have a breakdown of the number of sites per borough? And I'm assuming some young people might go to a different borough, right? I mean, you have some large corporations in Manhattan. Do some people like cross borders in that way?
Absolutely. I'm not certain if the breakdowns by borough will be in our annual report, but if it's not, Susie, we can touch base and see if our operations team can share that with you. But you're right that young people do come from all over the city. We, in the past year, have also begun really focusing on enrollment from communities most affected by gun violence. And so we're taking a particular approach focus, if you want to say, on making sure that we reach young people in those communities to get them enrolled. We also began working in the past year very closely with the crisis management system and ensuring that young people in the city's cure violence programs have the opportunity to participate in SYEP, and young people do cross over neighborhoods, boroughs to complete their internships. I think this actually might be related to Paul's question. Paul, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But we have been able over the past 2 years to provide Metro cards for SYP participants. If that's not your question, let me know. But we have been able to do that over the past 2 years to alleviate any burdens of traveling. And we also have a great partnership with City Bike. We had young people had the opportunity to receive free City Bike memberships through SYP over the past 2 years, and young people actually took 20,000 City Bike rides over the course of the internship, with I believe a few more than 1,000 young people getting those free memberships through City Bike.
Nice.
Great, thank you,
Sarah,
Sarah.
really quickly, just a clarity on the MetroCard piece. Is that funding now baselined, or is that still, because the city council is the entity that actually put that money in, right, in order to account for that? Because I know that was a constant budget issue, and I just want to again flag for my colleagues if that is still the case, if every year we're going to have to go and ask for money for Metro cards for our SYP participants, or if now it's baseline moving forward in the fiscal year.
It's a great question, Donovan. I don't have the answer in front of me, but I will reach out to my colleagues this afternoon and get you an answer tomorrow on that.
Perfect, thank you.
It looks like there's one other question in the chat. Carol asks, is the day orientation paid?
So young people are not paid for their SYEP orientation hours. That's a requirement that they need to complete before they are enrolled in the program or before they're matched with a work site. They're paid for 150 hours of the work experience over the course of the summer.
I wanted to know that after the summer is over, do any of the private sector providers follow these children up with additional work experience throughout the fall and winter?
Great question. Yes, so a number of our employers offer young people the opportunity to stay on or to return. Actually, this year, I believe about 50% of employers who responded to our survey at the end of the summer offered their interns, their SYP participants, the opportunity to either stay on part-time after the summer or to return to them the following summer in an internship. In addition, many of our employers participate in Work, Learn, and Grow, which is an extension of SYP for select SYP participants who have the opportunity, like I said earlier, to take that CUNY class and then intern during the school year. Many of our employers return and hire their summer interns to continue on, or maybe they hire young people in Work, Learn, and Grow and then hire them again the following summer.
Great, great.
Well, wonderful presentation again. Thank you very much. Can we take down the PowerPoint maybe? Yeah, okay, great. Thank you. All right, so we are now at issue areas to discuss. And from the NAB membership report, Susan Patterson, Director of the NAB CAB Liaison Unit, is going to report to us. Susan.
Happy New Year, everybody. It's so good to see everyone. Here's my report. We have in the DYCD slots, we have 188 filled seats, 58 vacancies, and the EPO, we have 68 filled slots and 178 vacancies. So you're probably saying, wow, so what are we doing here? We've had some meetings recently to try to target the EPO participation. It looks like we're going to have some progress. We have some new workers who are very fresh about doing this stuff, and they are go-getters. They've gone out in the field and really engaged the elected officials. And even though the numbers look low, it's actually good because we've lost people because of term limits, and we just kind of keep refilling the pot, so to speak. So I'm thinking the next couple of months, our numbers are going to grow quite a bit. And I'm so grateful for the new people that we have on the unit. They have a lot of experience, a lot of zest, and so our numbers will grow. That's my report.
Well, that was a very optimistic report. Thank you very much, Susan.
You're welcome.
Anita, did you want to say something?
Was I on mute?
Okay.
Susan, can you talk about the meet and greets also?
Yeah, so we started doing the meet and greets in no, October. I think it was the end of October, and we have completed 30, I think 39. I want to say 39 meet and greets. We are still looking to fill in the other couple of slots. We are also going to be doing phase 3 meet and greets, where we're going to be coming together and we're going to have a lot of providers work with the communities to let them know about crime and safety and about other programs. So we're doing pretty good. And all those numbers came with new staff. So I'm telling you, the staff has been working tirelessly on the unit, and we're proud of them.
And they're online right here. We have Reggie Gibson, we have Elizabeth Adedeji, and we have Damari Oramas on the line on screen, sort of.
Hello.
And meet and greets, in case anybody doesn't know what that is when we have the providers come and report to the NAB members who actually read their proposals and selected them. You know, they read the proposals, they rated them high, and they were selected for the contracts. So they come to talk about what they plan to do within the next, well, the contracts are 3 years long, so for the 3 years, and what they're doing right now. So that's what the meet and greets are.
And you know, Susie, let me add something. Looking at the numbers, we have approximately 50 pending applications. These pending applications, we've been reaching out to elected officials and say, please take a look at these candidates. So the unit is recruiting. We're just trying to get the elected officials to kind of come on board and take a look-see at what we're asking them to do and possibly recommend the appointment.
Yes. And how is that part of the process working out? Are the elected officials' offices
as responsive?
Being responsive? Are you trying new strategies? Like, how is that working?
You know, it's kind of half and half. We've learned that the emails and the phone calls are not enough. We have to literally go to the office. Sometimes announced, sometimes unannounced, and ask where they come and look at us, and we give them a wonderful packet and said, these people are dedicated to the community, they want to join, will you consider appointing them? And we're waiting. This is what it is, we're waiting. I would gladly say that the Bronx had some low numbers. The Bronx is coming along nicely, you know, so we're working at it.
Yeah. Well, we know you're doing everything possible. You're leaving no stone unturned, right? And I know that we have a responsibility also to remind our elected officials that this is very important. Their appointments make a very big difference.
Yes.
On the NABs.
Yes. I mean, moving forward, we're going to be doing the CNA in about a year, and we need people for us to complete these surveys and really take a look at what's needed in the community. You got to have a full board to do this stuff.
Now, I have a quick question, and then I know Alex has a question. My question is with the meet and greets. Can you remind us how you schedule those? Like, how does someone invite you to make a presentation? Can any of us invite you to the organizations or the agencies we represent?
Well, it goes two ways. We look at who has contracts with us. They get invited by the program managers. We follow up to make sure they're coming, but also we find that people from the community who are not funded by DYCD, they come. They want to say, we're doing this also. So we want to give people a full complement of programs that are in their community. And, I like what I see. People getting
Yes, my
kind of
question-
excited.
I'm sorry. I guess my question was, where do these meet and greets take place and how do you publicize them?
They take place in their designated NDA. Okay. The liaisons are working with the chairperson or vice chairperson to set up the meeting. And usually it's at our regular meeting site, unless we anticipate a large turnout and we can open it up to a hospital or library. But generally it's at the regular meeting site. A lot of it happens at the libraries.
Great, great.
Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you. So Alex and then Donovan.
So I'm hearing you guys say, have the elected officials been cooperating with, youth employment and internships? I just want to make sure, first of all, I'm just the messenger, so please don't shoot the messenger. But have you been reaching out to our office or in contact with anybody in our office pertaining to this, or no?
In terms of recruitment, are you referring to
Yes.
that? Yes. When we go to the office, we ask for the chief of staff or
Okay.
any community, if it's a community liaison or director, and we give them the package.
Okay.
We sit down with them for at least a half an hour and explain the program and just the importance of having members on the board.
So you already have that communication established. There's no, we're in talks, right?
No, it works well. I mean, when we go to the office, somebody's there.
Right.
And as I said, we find, and I think if anybody else in the unit needs to correct me, please do. We go there face to face. It works better than on the phone or the email. It generally does.
Great.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Sorry, my apologies.
Okay. Donovan and then Grace.
Hi. So quick question, and I definitely ask this every time we get into these vacancies, specifically for Brooklyn Borough Hall, and we have some slots we personally need to fill. My concern, or when I'm trying to talk to folks and encourage them, is like, this is the first time they've ever heard of this. How can they learn more? The website was going to provide whatever the website is going to provide. However, we never have like a list of active meetings. And being able to, like, people will say, hey, this this meeting at this date. I don't have that information. I believe every time I've gone on the public facing website, I have never been able to find anything informative. And so I'm kind of re-upping this to say, like, can we get a list, specifically Borough Hall? And I'm specifically asking for to be a little bit for other colleagues, in that with community board season currently upon us, this is the right time, because when we don't necessarily take someone for the community boards, we actually try to direct them to these other community opportunities.
Gotcha.
But if we don't have this list, this is where you serve, that connection is lost. So I'm able to do that for the CECs on the education front, but I have nothing as far as the NABs. So if that's something that you guys can support with, I definitely think we'll be able to fill gaps. And then I think it would also help some of our other elected official partners, simply because they are also in the process of community boards. So they might also say, oh, well, the person I was trying to push to this, but this is an opportunity. So just kind of bringing that into this.
Okay, that's a good point. We can get that information to you.
Perfect. And just to flag again, the community board process, we wrap up, I don't know about the other offices, but I believe it's the same
Right.
timeline, is mid-February. So this is like the perfect time to
Mhm.
kind of capitalize on this.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
We'll
was
work
an
on that for you.
excellent point, and I appreciate that. I personally appreciate the reminder because our deadline is February 19th. So yeah, if we could all coordinate or with all the BP's offices and of course the council members too, but the BP's offices, that would be very helpful.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks. Grace, you had your hand up, I think. No?
Yeah, I did. I was just a couple things wondering, how many of these meet and greets have been done in the Bronx? Specifically because my NDA is 12 and 11. So I haven't heard of anything done in the Bronx.
No,
Are
the,
they scheduling
11
for the Bronx soon?
11 was done. 12 is yet to be, scheduled.
Nobody told me. I didn't know about it.
I'm sorry about that, Grace.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I know we just got off of a election, so there are some new council members in there, so we need
Yeah.
to make sure the new ones
Know
get
about,
brought up to speed like yesterday, ASAP.
yeah.
A lot of work.
Mhm.
But we know you're on top of it, and now you have all of these new team members, so and we're looking forward to getting to know them better as well. If there is any way to, I mean, again, piggybacking on what Donovan Swanson said, if there's a way to provide a schedule, at least for me, that with the meet and greets, that would really be helpful
Yes.
for each borough. That would be awesome. To maybe to this whole committee.
Okay.
That'd be-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
I mean,
you.
if you
We'll
could
s-
let me
we'll
know
send
when District 12 is gonna get that one, I'd like to attend that. I mean, is it it's an open forum or is it just you meeting with?
No,
how-
it's
It's
so,
open.
all of our meetings are open to the community.
Okay,
They're public meetings.
okay. Alrighty.
Does anyone have any other questions for Susan Patterson or Anita Antonetti about?
Or our guest speakers are still with us, so.
this? Was there one more question in the chat? I'm just. Oh, someone, Donovan wrote, he used to hire some of his SYPs in his former role. Very good. Do you have your hand up, Donovan? Did you want to say something else? Or was that from before?
I'm sorry, that's an old hand.
Okay.
It's old.
Grace, is that an old hand or
No,
a new hand?
that's a new hand. In regards to CBOs people that hire, what is the process for let's say a 501c3, an organization wants to be involved in the SIAP program? What is the process for that? I know it was mentioned briefly on the presentation, right, about CBOs and employers being participants. Is there a link or something to
Great
get to?
question.
'Cause I know a couple that I want to send the information to.
Yep. So we will share the presentation with Anita and Susie to share with you all. The SYEP application is not quite open for both participants and for employers, but as soon as it is, we'll make sure you have that link.
Mhm.
The application will be open through the early spring, so folks can express their interest in hiring SYEP participants. Once they fill out the application, a community-based organization will work with them to approve their work site, visit the site, make sure it's safe and there's no questions to confirm before placement, and then they'll match young people into the roles that the organization has available for them to start in early July.
Great.
And just quick, when you say a CBO, are you're talking they have to be 501c3s or they can be just a regular community-based organization? Because not all organizations are 501c3s.
Right.
Yeah, sorry for the confusion. So any company or organization can apply to host the participants. The CBOs I'm referring to are contracted by DYCD to run the program. So they support the what we call the work sites in connecting young people into the opportunities. But yes, any organization or company, for profit, nonprofit, or otherwise can apply.
Great. So it can also be a voluntary organization.
Mhm.
Okay.
And we offer the opportunity for young people to work in person, hybrid, or remote roles.
Well, that's
So we have flexibility there.
great. I mean, we've watched this program grow under everyone's leadership here. So lots of options. Very exciting. So do we have any old business?
No,
Do we have any new business?
no.
Does anyone have any last words for this meeting?
Let me say something. I was sitting here kind of giggling. I was an SYEP person when I was 18 years old, and I'm 70. So I'm telling you, this SYEP stuff is really good.
God bless.
I wish we could get 200,000 students there. It's good. It's long term. It's long, and they did aftercare with us. They were really good. And so any young person that can get in, it's so good for them. So this is from a previous SYEP person.
That means a lot, and I sure hope that you were interviewed for the 60th anniversary project that Sarah has told us about. Were you, Susan?
No, They didn't know this. This is the first time I'm actually
Susan was
talking
keeping
about it.
She
secrets from us.
admitted it.
Wow, well, I mean, I guess your secret's good with us in the recording, Susan, but
Oh, it's no secret. I mean, it's out now.
but maybe they can do an addendum and include you because you are, I mean, you are living proof, right?
Yeah.
Look at you ended up your career is with DYCD, so that's really major.
Full circle, right, Sue? Full circle.
Yes.
You can edit it from this video.
What's that?
They can edit the commercial, that thing from this video.
There you go. See? Thank you, Reggie. Okay, well. So you tell me, Anita, if there's any other.
No,
business.
there's no, that's it.
Thank
Except
you,
to say
everyone.
thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Do we need someone to second the motion?
Yes.
So motion by Grace Lavaglia and seconded by?
Who is that?
I'm sorry, I'm in a call, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Thank you.
I'm in a call.
Mr. Mai, can you second the motion? The motion?
Paul?
Hi, this is Paul, second motion.
Oh, thank you.
So all in favor? Say aye.
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 All in
Where is
favor?
everybody?
Okay, any nays? Thank you, everyone. Great meeting. And thank you, of course, Anita, for.
You're welcome. And thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Thanks,
Dee.
Sarah. Good presentation, guys.
All right,
And
everybody have,
Susan, of course.
You're welcome.
all right, everybody have a
Good
good night.
night. Yes,
Have a
everyone.
good night.
And thank
Yes.
you all for coming, our NAB members that are here.
Not me. Bye-bye.
Okay.
You wanna,
bye.
is the recording gonna go off now?
It's going off now.
Okay. I have a quick question for you.